A female version of Doctor Doom is confirmed for Doomsday. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is confirmed to last until 2042, and after Secret Wars, there will be a unified and orderly Marvel world. Before we get buried under Komikkon announcements, let's take a breath, calm down, and organize the flood of news and details that an unusually talkative Kevin Feige has dumped on us. By the way, his talkativeness is a clue in itself. It seems the Marvel boss is very confident in the quality of Spider-Man and Doomsday, otherwise he wouldn't be bragging. You can't call Feige's statement that they have plans mapped out for the universe until 2042. Anything else? Anything else? First, the Marvel boss confirmed that the next saga will be called the Mutant Saga, and they will be at the center of the plot. And second, he shared that there is a rough schedule for movies for the next 16 years. For comparison, this is like Feige in 2008, stating that they had a schedule through 2024. It sounds insane, and it's certainly not a finished plan for 50 movies. Obviously, successful ones will be extended and failed ones will be forgotten, like the Eternals. But still, this is the first big confirmation that Marvel plans to work in the same vein without serious reboots for another 16 years. Whether Downey will have to return every 5 years as the Dark Phoenix or Annihilus is a separate question. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, categorical here as well. The Marvel boss said they have already discussed plans with Sony for 5 more Spider-Man movies. And the number is quite remarkable because it confirms an old leak that the studios want to release 3 Tom Holland trilogies. Including the new one, there will be 4 films with 5 more in the plans. That makes 9 for 3 trilogies. The last one will likely feature Miles, as Feige hinted they don't want to bring him into the MCU until the animated Across the Spider-Verse story is finished. As for the universe after Secret Wars, Kevin gave a huge spoiler even before Comic-Con. The Marvel boss promised that the mistakes of Multiverse of Madness have been fixed, and we are looking forward to a single unified universe that will be easy to watch. Feige's new baseline is that Endgame was the end of one universe, followed by experiments and trial and error. And now Doomsday and Secret Wars are starting another universe, which, like the very first one, will be singular, but as we guessed, not completely rebooted. The Marvel boss stated that some things will be brand new, but some things will remain familiar. The Russo brothers went even further and stated in their interview that there will be a complete reset, including the numbering. According to them, Secret Wars is Phase 0, where everything will start over. There is no need to guess what this means, since there is a comic where the same thing happened after Secret Wars. A new universe appeared, where a portion of the characters remained the same, and the part that needed to be rebooted was simply changed. Something tells me we are going to have new Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. The theory that our old Stark is a variant of Doctor Doom is looking more like the truth every day. Amid the epic announcements, Feige once again confirmed insider rumors. According to Kevin, Marvel has developed a funny tradition where they constantly call Adam Driver and he constantly turns down the offer for a role in the cinematic universe. So all the rumors that they wanted Driver for the role of Mr. Fantastic are likely true, as are the rumors that Adam is currently being considered for a role in the X-Men. It's not a fact, by the way, that it's Magneto. A fresh rumor says it's about Mr. Sinister, although one does not rule out the other. From Feige's words, you get the impression they are ready to kiss Driver's feet and offer him several roles to choose from if only he would agree. Whether it will work this time, we will find out in the near future. Let's get back to our muttons for now. At San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel brought props for Doomsday, and a female Doctor Doom costume suddenly appeared there with a mask very similar to the one in the Fantastic Four post-credits scene. It is, after all, different from the one shown on Doom in the trailer. And that's canon, because in the comics, Victor has a bunch of Doombots, exact copies of his beloved self, which he sends on missions at risk to their health. Most are robots, but there were some flesh and blood ones too. The movie seems to be expanding the concept of female versions as well. How can one not recall that, according to rumors, one of them will be Peggy Carter. The Scarlet Witch fits the concept quite well, and Doctor Strange too. Why, Doom could even assemble a whole team of Dark Avengers, and that would be logical. He has been studying the multiverse for a long time and could easily have recruited a bunch of heroes for himself. For example, from worlds that are about to perish from incursions. Let's make such a world a universe where Captain America became a Hydra agent, and voila, Doom gets an ally indebted to him for life. To be honest, I'm tired of the trend where the Avengers just beat up a gray mass like the Chitauri in big crossovers. Avengers vs. Dark Avengers sounds much more appealing. Whether this is true or not, we'll find out soon. Now let's talk about Destin Cretton, who miraculously escaped the great Marvel purge. Before that, he was listed as the director of Kang Dynasty, but after the firing of everyone involved in the multiverse saga, he miraculously kept his post. And he didn't just keep it, he filmed Spidey and is literally in high demand. Komikkon is currently set to film Naruto, but he isn't worried at all and is already hinting that he'd be happy to direct the 5th Spider-Man. After all, the director said during a promo that a big action scene featuring a whole bunch of villains was planned for the new day. According to Destin, sketches were ready, characters were defined, and a very large-scale fight of baddies against Spidey was in the works. The director stated that the idea was eventually scrapped, but he really hopes to use it in one of the future films. Of course, this is a heavy hint at an adaptation of the Sinister Six. Moreover, judging by the fact that Feige asked to remove the large-scale scene, they are thinking about it at Marvel too. Truth be told, the 6 actually fits the 6th film better, is symbolic, and would finish the 2nd trilogy. And a tip. But who knows, maybe they'll please us in the 5th one too. And with all that, Komikkon also wants to film Shang-Chi too. The director shared that just a couple of weeks ago he spoke with the screenwriter and the work is moving in the right direction. Destin advised fans of the character to keep their fingers crossed and hope for the best. The point here is that the first Shang-Chi film didn't gross very well. In Doomsday, even the trailer shows how the hero was rebranded both in terms of his costume and his overall balance. And now Marvel will see how the public reacts to the updated Shang-Chi. If it's mediocre, a sequel can be forgotten. But if he becomes a crossover star, we can expect the 2nd part as early as 2029. Oh yes, on top of all that, Komikkon is also planning to film the 2nd season of Wonder Man. Some sort of tireless director with a time turner. Mahershala Ali could use one, because this month marks 8 years since he was cast in the role, and the film still hasn't been released. Feige honestly admitted in an interview that he considers what's happening to be his biggest failure in the position. Although fans will likely be even more pissed off by the next phase, because the Marvel boss stated they didn't want to make a movie where Blade spends 2 hours in a leather coat hacking vampires to pieces, then what the hell kind of Blade movie did Marvel want to make? I want to ask Feige, who seems to have overthought it, because that is exactly the kind of movie Blade needs, if it needs. The uniqueness the Marvel boss is talking about is a Blade film where a woman was the lead. Variety wrote about this back in 2023, and the film was described as a project where Blade himself was only the 4th most important person in the movie. At the center was a female vampire who handled everything, while a toxic, masculine hunter just caused problems. In short, the classic multiverse saga, in all its glory, went so far that according to Variety, Mahershala Ali was furious after reading the script and was ready to walk away from the role. Modish. Kevin Feige intervened, the script was sent for its 5th rewrite, and it got stuck there indefinitely. One would hope that in the Mutant Saga, Marvel will stop reinventing the wheel and start making the movies that naturally suggest themselves. Just like the explanation for why Dr. Doom looks like Tony Stark is screaming to be told. The theory that Downey won't take off his mask in Avengers was born from a plot leak. But it's completely unbelievable because Downey was paid $100 million for the film. But how are they supposed to deny themselves the pleasure of showing off such an expensive face? We don't know either. And that's why we're examining the trailer under a microscope. And there are huge suspicions regarding the scene where Thor and Steve Rogers meet. Because there, when Thor walks down the hallway and there's no one there, there's a cut, and Steve Rogers teleports next to the God of Thunder. Furthermore, why would Thor be so surprised to see him? He didn't die after all. He simply went to live in the past with enough Pym particles to return. And this is where it gets heated, because in the English version of the trailer, the person who greets Thor with "Hey pal" isn't necessarily Steve Rogers. We don't see him in that moment. Never. Just listen to the original voice of Tony Stark by Robert Downey Jr. and then play the trailer. The phrase "Hey pal" sounds just like Downey's voice. And seeing a living, healthy Tony Stark might surprise Thor so much that he'll even say, "That's impossible." There was that old rumor that Dr. Doom would use his resemblance to Tony Stark early in the film to manipulate the Avengers and pull their strings. This leak was quickly replaced by a newer one. But we've long suspected that the newer leak is a plant sent by Marvel itself, so that part is true and part is false, allowing the studio to keep its secrets. Perhaps the fact that Doom will manipulate the Avengers using his appearance is one of the film's main secrets. At the very least, Marvel won't look so foolish, paying Downey $100 million just for him to wear a mask the whole movie. And then, from Doom's shadow steps out a Steve Rogers who is more familiar to Thor. He summons Mjolnir, proves everything is fine, and Thor calms down. The Russo brothers manipulated us with Infinity War trailers, so anything is possible. And it's possible things will be even cooler. And no one will know that Victor Von Doom and Dr. Doom are the same person. We are used to thinking the Fantastic Four know Dr. Doom because they are from the same universe. But that's the comic book Four, and in the MCU, their relationship hasn't been established. Reed and Sue might also know Victor strictly as a scientist. Nee. I mean, who cares if some doctor conquered Latveria? Who the hell knows what kind of doctor that is? So perhaps Doom's secret identity will be a surprise to everyone in the film, which Thor might discover during the Stormbreaker scene. It's not for nothing that the shot focused so intensely on the eye contact between the God of Thunder and Doom. In short, don't be sad about the leaks. As you can see, the film definitely has something that could surprise us and keep us pinned to our seats in theaters. Will it manage to impress with the Comic-Con announcements? We'll find out soon. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That's all for now. See you next time, friends.